Hi guys, KrymTheGaymer here, and I'll be making an Evelynn video guide on some tips and tricks that you might want to know to help you get to Diamond. I'm an Evelynn main. I recently hit Diamond. It took me 6 weeks to go from Silver to Diamond this season. I have over 250 ranked games with just Evelynn. I think I'm number 5 Evelynn currently on the NA server, and something like 200 in the world. So I'm not the best Evelynn, but I think I'm a pretty good Evelynn, and I can definitely teach some players some things on at least how I got to Diamond. So I'm going to do that by showing you guys a game that I recently played around Diamond Elo, and I'll give some commentary on the decisions that I made throughout that game. So first of all, make sure that you choose the same masteries and runes that I use. I don't really think that anyone should use anything different. I think Evelynn has a preset set of runes and masteries. Just use the same ones. They don't really need to be changed at all, no matter what. So at the beginning of the game, you want to get out of the base as fast as you can. So make sure you buy your items, and you have 15 seconds to do that, and then run out of the base, because you want to try to get to the river where my cursor is pointing right now. You want to get to that position as fast as you can, because the other team is very likely to invade. The higher your elo goes, I feel like the more likely you're going to have an organized invade where you have 4 or 5 people invading. So make sure you get there quickly and stand at the position that I'm at right now so you can see from what angle they would come from. From there, you should be able to see pretty much any invade they can think of from that point. In this particular game, I didn't want to invade. See, they are invading. So my top is TPing in, which is a really stupid thing because we didn't really have everybody in position. But, you know, if your team is going to fight, you have to help. But if my whole team was there and in position, Evelynn is a really strong invader because people don't know she's there. So in the best case, they'll think that they're outnumbering someone, but then you start attacking as soon as they attack, and then they're instantly outnumbered. And Evelynn's Q has a really low cooldown, so you can keep doing damage the whole time on multiple people. So she's great at invade. Alright, so in this game, we got invaded, and we were outnumbered and out of position. My team wasn't prepared. So they got 4 kills out of that. We only got 2. Plus they got first blood. So this will be an interesting game where I'm behind, but I'm going to show you some good decisions that are going to help us get back in the game. So Hecarim stole my blue buff. Notice that. He thought, well, we got a bunch of kills, I'm going to put this Evelynn behind. Well, I'm not going to let him get away with that. I saw that he was half health when he left my blue buff, so I'm going to go check up on him. Alright, so Evelynn can't be seen. He's getting super low from this red buff. I mean, I'm at least going to get a flash out of him. Alright, so I'm going to smite this red buff and steal it. And kill him. So I end up with red and a kill. It instantly put me back in the game. I don't even feel like I was behind at all. I actually feel like he got behind because of that. So early, this is a really weird start. You don't normally start the game like this on Evelynn, but you know, opportunities came up and I took advantage of them. That's what you have to do. But normally, you're going to start bot side. It doesn't matter if it's Gromp, it doesn't matter if it's Krugs. Either one. If you're on blue side, I mean, if you're on, I'm sorry, if you're starting Gromp and you're near blue buff, you're going to skip blue buff. So normally, I would still follow this path. Gromp into wolves. Blue buff takes too much health and it's going to get you low. It's not really worth it. Just go straight to wolves. If you're starting red side, you get Krugs and then you're going to get that stun every 6 hits or so. And if you start that side and you have a good leash and you survive with pretty high health, you can actually take red buff. But you don't have to do that. Normally you can just skip the buff. I take red buff, but I'm really good at kiting the monsters. That's another thing. If you want to get some good jungle clear on Evelynn, make sure you align the monsters for your Q. Watch how I align this red buff. I pull them over really far so that I align those little ones so that with every Q, I'm hitting every single one of them. That takes practice. With this red buff, you got to make sure you watch the patience bar on the red buff so that you don't accidentally go too far and reset it. Watch how I pull these guys over. I pull them back, they're perfectly aligned, I'm hitting every one of them with my Q. Most of the monsters are pretty easy to do that. The hardest ones being the raptors. The raptors are really difficult to align. Reason being, the little ones are melee. The big bird is ranged. So it can be difficult to align him. In this video, I can't show you how to align them right, but there are ways to do that. But with the birds, if you don't get them perfectly aligned up, it's okay. If you can at least get 2 lined up, you'll be fine. Just don't take too much damage. So with Evelynn, make sure you focus on farm. So many people think that Evelynn has to gank early. Maybe at later elos like high diamond or master tier. I don't know, I'm not there, but maybe it's more important to have a stronger presence. But at least until diamond, you want to focus on farm because Evelynn scales really hard. She becomes a really strong AP assassin. You can 100 to 0 any squishy pretty much all game. With the exception of people who build Hex Drinker. Hex Drinker, you can't assassinate those people no matter what. Like Zed or Talon or someone like that. Alright, so once again, focus on farming. If you see, like every time I'm on my way to the jungle, I look at each lane. I look at top, mid, bottom. Look at them, look at the health bars. See if you think they're either definitely about to get ganked or they're definitely about to try to all in one of them. If it looks like that, you have to go help, so go do it. Go be there, go do something, but try not to waste time. You have to be sure. If you know you're going to waste time, or if you know that they're bad and they're just going to die no matter if you go or not, don't worry about it. You can't do anything about it, but what you can do is stay in the jungle and get farm. Because Evelynn scales really hard. If you can keep up your CS and keep up your farm, you're not going to get behind. And I think that's where a lot of Evelynn players fail, is they feel like if they're not ganking, they're doing it wrong. But actually, if you're ganking and you're not accomplishing anything, you're wasting time, you're losing experience and money. So make sure you keep up that farm. What I do, once you get really comfortable with Evelynn's jungle clears, it becomes kind of automatic. So you just go to the jungle, you kill the monsters, whatever. It's probably any jungler, it's like that. I don't know, I only play Evelynn. But once you feel very comfortable with it and it starts feeling automatic in the jungle, then you don't really have to look at the screen. You really are just kind of farming, but you're staring at the mini-map, constantly staring at the mini-map. You're looking for faces, champion heads to pop up on the map unexpectedly, or you're looking for lanes that are heads that are getting really close to each other. Like look at bot lane, those heads are on top of each other. I know something's going on even if I'm not looking down there. So I ran down. An important thing to know is any game that you're playing, there is a winning formula. There are conditions that have to be met most of the time for you to win the game. Lux tried to steal that, but I got it. But yeah, so there's a winning formula. And I can tell you from experience that the first necessary component of that winning formula is to secure bot lane. You have to make sure that your bot lane can hold lane. You have to make sure that they're in a position where if they get ganked, that they'll be okay. At level 1, they're probably not going to be in that position. So they're kind of like a little baby or a little infant. You have your bot lane infant, and if you don't give it attention, if you don't, you know, watch it, if you look away for 1 second, it's going to die. It's going to drink bleach, or it's going to, you know, stick its finger in a light socket or do something really stupid. You have to take care of bot lane. So I kind of ignore top early game. If you go top, they're gonna know where you are, and they're gonna say, "Oh, hey guys, everyone's top lane. Let's go shit on bot lane." You don't want that to happen. So it's not a good idea to go top unless you know that bot lane is secured. So first thing you want to make sure you do every game as Evelynn is secure bot lane. Shadow them. Shadowing meaning hang around bot lane waiting for something to happen. You just have to make sure that they get ahead, because if your bot lane is getting shit on, the enemy team has such a huge advantage because there's 2 people down there. That's a lot of gold. That's a lot of pressure. So notice that I don't even go top. Like, I don't care about top lane. If top lane dies, I don't care, because I know that. See, I shadowed them. I knew something was about to happen, so I just stayed down there and waited for it. And the moment that they engaged, that's when I showed my face. That's how you have to gank with Evelynn. You never engage. Maybe 1% of the time you engage with Evelynn. But if you engage with her, they know from the start of the fight what they're up against. They know the numbers and they know how to play. It's not worth it. They're going to run if they think that they're outadvantaged, if they're disadvantaged. So make sure that you hold off on showing your face as long as you can. And then the moment you want to look for, you know, if you could see the enemy's faces, you would know when they're in it for the kill. But you can know that from the game too. You don't have to see their real life faces, but you can tell by how they're acting, how they're playing, when they're trying to all in and get a kill. And when you see that on their face, that's when you show up. And because once they have committed, they can't back out. That's when you can get your kills as Evelynn, once they can't get away. Another tip, try to use your ult on bot lane as much as possible. You're gonna hit 2 people most likely with that ult, and you're probably gonna get some good kills. Don't force a gank. Never force a gank. That, I feel like the most difficult thing for me to learn trying to get Diamond was that I would try to force bot ganks, because I know that if I can get a double kill down there, that's going to put me really far ahead. Like, I believe that happened in this particular game. But don't be greedy. Don't force anything. Wait for it to happen naturally and be patient. If your bot lane is pushing them into tower, first of all, ask them in chat to please let the enemy bot lane push so that you can actually gank. But if your team is pushing them to tower, don't try to do an early gank. You're going to give them free kills and you're going to waste a lot of resources. You're going to use your summoners. You're going to make your bot lane use summoners. It's not worth it. Try to ask them to back off and let the enemy bot lane push so that you can gank and get a double kill. Maybe even a triple if the jungler shows up. Our Vayne went super ham there. I was very thrown off by that, but, you know, she did some good shit. You don't always have ADCs that know their limitations that well, but she did. Alright, so at this point in the game, we're looking at about 13 minutes into the game. Bot lane is officially secure. Vayne just got a triple kill. They got their tower. I know for a fact that even if the enemy jungler ganks, my bot lane isn't going to die. They're fine. Alright, Orianna with no mana tried to solo blue buff. That was stupid of her, honestly. So she got it stolen by Lux. I don't usually give the mid laner blue buff, and in fact, I would never offer it. Unless if my mid laner is like super fed on their own, yeah, okay, I'll offer it. But I plan to be the carry, so I'm not going to offer my blue buff. But if they ask for my blue buff, I will definitely give it to them. Because they might actually need it to get ahead. But I don't know that unless they ask for it. So if they don't ask, just take it. It helps you. You're going to carry. So, back to the winning formula. Bot lane is officially secure. So now, the game gets really, really fun. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You can go top and gank. You can go mid and gank. You can just shit on everyone in the entire game because you know that your bot lane is safe. They're fine. So make sure you secure bot lane every single game. And if you can't secure bot lane, you're probably going to lose the game. Another thing about jungling Eve, people don't like her. Both teams don't like her. Your own team doesn't like her. If you pick Evelynn, people very often will complain. But, I mean, I think she's very strong. You know, once they see that you're doing well, then, you know, they're done complaining. But if you're doing bad, or if your team is just losing, they're going to complain. And they will talk about how shitty Evelynn is, and they will ask for you to gank more, and all this bullshit. Use the command /mute all at the beginning of every game. I don't do that every game, but probably about 60 to 70% of my games, I began the game with mute all. If you can't read anything that your team is saying, it gives you such a huge advantage. One, you can just the entire game focus on playing the game and winning. And two, it doesn't make you want to talk shit and cause them to talk more shit and have to respond to your shit. So just don't do it. I'm telling you, them bot lane ults are my favorite. You just get so fed off those bot lane ults. Alright, so notice that top lane did in fact get shit on, and I did ignore them the whole game pretty much. But that's okay. Because, like I said, who gives a shit about top lane? I don't care. Now that our bot lane is fed, like, what would you rather have? A super fed bot lane or a super fed top lane? I mean, I'd rather have a super fed bot lane because this Renekton is not going to be a problem at all because we have a fed bot. Another thing, securing bot lane. It may sound from this video that I think that is a jungle thing, but I'll tell you, whether you're trying to get to Diamond with jungle Evelynn or a lane, anything you want to do, the formula is the same. You still have to help secure bot lane, and you can win games by doing that. If you're a top laner, you take TP. People think, okay, he has TP, you know, that's pretty good. Actually, there's a reason that top laners have TP. The reason is so that they can take part in that winning formula of securing bot lane. You take TP as a top laner and you watch bot lane the whole fucking game, and when you see that your bot lane is about to die, and I'm talking like they're gonna die within the next 4 seconds, at that moment, that's when you TP down there. Because you will instantly turn the fight and at least save your bot lane from dying, but probably you're gonna kill the enemy team and get them fed. So that's how you secure bot lane from top. You can do the same thing from mid with either a roam, or, I mean, if you really want to go ham and carry yourself to Diamond from mid, take fucking teleport. Make sure that that you can always get down there instantly. You have to secure bot lane, and you can do it from any role. So, as far as Evelynn's building goes, the first two, you get the same first two items on Evelynn every single game, no matter what. And those two items are Runic Echo with Stalkers, and then secondly, you get Lichbane. Those give you really good burst and a lot of movement speed. Don't even buy tier 1 boots until you have both of those items. They both give movement speed, so you don't even need boots yet. Look how good I'm kiting that bastard. Make sure you hang on to Evelynn's W so that you can remove slows. If you know that someone has a slow, wait until they apply it and then use your W so that you can remove it and get away. If you use your W too early, before they slow you, you're not going to be able to get away. Get shit on. Oh, that's a really good trick that you can do with Evelynn. When you're low and they're low, you run away and they think you're gone, but then you wait, you know, between 3 and 5 seconds for your passive to proc, and you go stealth again, go back, and they will never expect it. They just know that you ran away, but really you didn't. You go back and you shit on their face. One of my favorite things to do with Evelynn to pick up some cheesy, easy mode kills is when you know that someone is about to back, no matter what the situation is. There are many situations where someone is about to back. For example, maybe they just got an objective, maybe they just took a tower at your base, or just any situation where you know someone is about to back. Go find their ass. People just, if Evelynn is in the game and you don't know where she is, you can't back unless you're near a tower or something that has vision, a pink ward or something like that. And people are so stupid about it. So they will back in lane all the time. It doesn't matter what elo. They do it in Challenger, they do it in Master Tier. People think that they're safe when they go back when Evelynn is in the game, which they're actually not. So go find them. Wait for their backing animation to be almost over. We're talking like 1 or 2 seconds left on it, because at that point 90% of the time they are already in the shop. They feel like they've already made it back, so they're shopping. You're gonna just go shit on their face. Notice how I dodged her Q. I knew it was coming. Did not know that arrow was coming. You can remove the slow from exhaust with your W. I no longer had my W, but you can do that. When the game gets to team fighting, a lot of people don't really know what to do with Evelynn in team fights. I'd say about 90% of the time you want to try to assassinate the ADC. Mid laners can be really difficult to assassinate because they usually have CC. But you don't really want to be in the front line. If you can sneak around to the back, and if you're fed and you can find the ADCs, just go ahead and kill them really fast and then run away. Evelynn's burst is super strong. As far as continuing the build path, I build pretty much the same build every game, and that is, like I said, Runic Echoes, Lichbane. After that, I get tier 1 boots, and then full Rylai's, and then I'll finish off boots, which will be swiftness boots usually. And then I'll get Liandry's, and then after Liandry's, I'll usually get Banshee's Veil, unless for some random reason they don't have like any CC or they're all AD. In that case, I'll get Ronduin's. When you have Rylai's and Liandry's, it makes you slightly tanky so that you won't be assassinated, at least. And the Liandry's synergy with Rylai's is so strong, and I'm not talking about the damage excuse me, I'm not talking about the extra damage, but you can slow them, and the Leandries that keeps proccing reapplies the slow. So you can slow people for a really long time, and they can't catch you. Not even Udyr can catch you, because that's a 40% slow that keeps getting reapplied. You can kite pretty much anyone in the game with that. I remember in this particular game, our Nautilus kept pinging for help the whole game, but I continued to ignore him, and I'll tell you that decision was one of the game-winning decisions. Notice that I waited for someone else to engage. If I had engaged with my ult, they might have gotten away. They might have. I mean, I didn't have vision of anything else. I didn't know where the other enemies were, so just most of the time wait for someone else to engage, unless you're in the back line and you can with one ult grab both of the carries, or at least the ADC and their support with one ult, and then you know that you can rush and kill the ADC. If they have a Lulu support, don't even try it. If they have some kind of support that will make it where you can't actually kill the ADC, don't try. But otherwise, you can usually do that. Another cool thing that you can do is, if you're fed like I am, and you know that the ADC is about to go bot lane to farm, just go down there and stand in lane and wait. Just let the minions walk through you while you're invisible, and just stand there and wait for the ADC to show up to get their farm, and then just instantly kill them. So that's one of my favorite things to do. I just like shitting on the ADC. Especially Ashe. Ashe just can't handle Evelynn. Sivir's a little bit annoying because of her spell shield, but if both of you have full build, you can still 1v1 her even if she spell shields, as long as you surprise her. Probably the most annoying ADC to me is Ezreal. If he has his E up, you usually cannot assassinate him. If you're super fed, you might be able to, but it's hard. Lux is a really annoying mid laner because of her snare. She didn't know I was there. At Baron, Evelynn's probably one of the worst junglers for Baron, because she doesn't have any sustain. So Baron pretty much rapes her. Excuse my language. Baron pretty much wrecks her. And she's melee, so when you get close to use your E, 9 times out of 10, the Baron is going to target you instead of someone else. I think the reason for that is because her range is short, and because she's so small. Her champion wireframe is very small, so she gets really close when she uses her E or auto attack. So I think just from being really close, he targets her. So what I do to deal with Baron is I let someone else tank by going close, using my E and my Q, and then I back off. Because if you stand there autoing, you're going to lose a lot of health, and it will actually kill you most of the time. So you want to have some good health so that you can smite when the time is right. And if you're low, the enemy team is going to jump on you so fast. So in this particular game, my team was doing a lot of throws. Look how fast I just destroyed her. That's just how you could just shit on the ADC. That's why I love to target them. They are the easiest person to kill because they don't build tanky. They don't build resist usually. If they're smart, then, you know, Ashe would have built Banshee's Veil, and then I wouldn't have been able to instantly delete her, but I still would have been able to 1v1 her. But usually they don't think that much about Evelynn, so they won't build magic resist, and you can just shit on them all game. Notice how I ulted, I ran in and I E'd and I Q'd. I did my damage, but I didn't stay to try to finish off that Thresh because I knew that his team was going to react. And Evelyn's not tanky, you can die. So I run in, I do my damage, and whether I kill them or not, I immediately W and run back. Because I know that if I do that, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to dodge a bunch of shit. I dodged right there a Lux Q that if it would have landed, I would have instantly been deleted. Another thing you can do with Eve is you can split push. She's a great split pusher. If your team is pretty strong 4v4 and they're pushing a tower, you probably, well, sometimes you want to help them and there are times that you don't want to help them. If you think that they will die, then go be with them because you don't want them to die. But if you think that, look at that, I'm just gonna destroy these carries. I caught out both of them. That was a winning fight just from me. If you catch both of their carries somewhere, ult them immediately. It catches them off guard so hard that they don't know whether to deal with you or to focus on the fight. So they just get really confused. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Evelynn is a really good split pusher because she's not gonna die. No one can catch her, and you can always get away. So if your team is pushing a tower, go to a different tower. Then you're getting 2 towers for 1. And even if your team can't get the tower, then you're getting one that they would not have been able to get. Because Evelynn can't push towers. You don't want to be seen. So if you're near a tower, it's going to see you. And you don't want the enemy team to know where you are. With them not knowing where you are on the map, it applies pressure automatically. You're helping the team just by not being seen. So yeah, you normally don't want to group as 5 and push a turret unless you know that either you can just straight up dive the turret and stomp the enemy team, or you know that the enemy team is going to engage on you, engage on your team and kill them when they see that you're not there. You don't want that to happen. That pretty much applies all game too. That's another reason why I don't gank top lane. If you go top, you just tell everyone else on the map that they can do whatever they want, and that's not good. I think one of the biggest mistakes that I used to make when I began playing Evelynn is, well, Evelynn hates pink wards. Pink wards are like kryptonite to her. You just don't like them. They ruin your life. They ruin your passive. But don't die for them. If there's a pink ward, you're gonna go stand there and slowly attack it 5 times, and everyone freaking hates Evelynn and wants you to die, and they know that you're squishy, they're gonna go kill you. So only take a pink ward if you know you're safe. And another thing, you don't have to kill the pink ward. to still play well. Just know where it is and you can just avoid it. Pink wards also make them feel safe. This Vayne, she just got super greedy right there. I think she has a habit of tower diving for kills. It worked out the first time this game, but it's not that great of an idea to do. It's pretty risky. Plus she had to burn everything to do it. Another thing about jungling in particular, if all your lanes are losing, you're probably gonna lose the game. It's not fun when all your lanes are losing and they're all gonna blame the jungler for losing them, but I can tell you, most people, I think it's fair to expect your laner to be able to hold lane. I think it's fair to expect your laner to not die without ganks. I think that's fair. So if your laners are getting shit on and you're not ganking for them, I'm talking about top and mid, just keep doing what you're doing. That means that they're a bad player. Even if you camp their lane, it probably still wouldn't help them. You'd be wasting your time. It's better to focus on bot, like I said many times already in this video. Alright, so this is my first Evelynn guide with some good tricks and tips on how to get to Diamond. I gave you guys some of the strategies that I use. I told you the build that I use and the runes and masteries. I plan on making more videos about Evelynn because I love her and she never gets boring. I can play her all day. I do sometimes. But yeah, I'll be making a new video. I hope you enjoyed this one and I hope you learned a few things. Thanks.